Hey everybody, we had some tight voting today. We even had a runoff, and then the runoff was decided by one vote. But here we are again at Core Set 2021 Traditional, and I'm not complaining. I have been really enjoying Best of 3. I've honestly been enjoying Core 2021 more so than Amonkhet Remastered. Amonkhet Remastered is a fun flavor to taste for a little bit, and I might dip back in at some point, but doesn't have super great legs as a format because of the slant towards hyper aggro that the format seems to have. M21 maybe has a little bit of that as well, but I would say more that M21 has fun police in place, multiple fun police decks. You've got base red aggro, whether that's blue red or white red or even green red can be pretty aggro. This is a pretty aggro format too, but it just doesn't feel quite as, well, I won the coin flip, I'm going to win this game, as Amonkhet Remastered does. So I've actually been enjoying this more, and I'm happy to be here continuing it. As I said yesterday, make an argument that we should be playing this set on a different account here because we have 4x the rares, and that means diminishing returns on collection building. But I'm going to mention it here, something to keep in mind. If you are really often out of gems and you do manage multiple accounts, you should consider switching your limited play to an account that is not 4x'd on the rares once your main account is 4x'd, and then you can grind your main account and save up for the next set. So that's what I recommend doing if gems are an issue for your free-to-play accounts. But we're doing good here, so I'm going to stay on my main account and see if we can't 4x the mythics even maybe in Core Set 2021. I think we got a long way to go there to do it before rotation, but we are close and we could do it. I mean, if I wanted to finish it in paper, though, I would just go to cardkingdom.com. If you want to 4x your mythics in anything, that's where I would start. Chances are that's where I would finish as well. Sometimes I've had to go elsewhere because Card Kingdom doesn't have 100% of every single card I want for some specific Magic project, but mostly I just finish up my shopping there and I'm done and I'm happy. One of the reasons I do that is because I have a ton of store credit there. I have a lot of store credit at Card Kingdom because I trade in Magic cards, I play with Magic cards, I enjoy collecting them. For me, it's a ebb and flow, buy and sell. Sometimes I have stock of cards that they're buying for such a high price that it's better for me to just sell it directly to Card Kingdom rather than try to sell it on the open market. And often when I do that, I just go for credit because then it's incredible. I kind of forget about it. I forget that I have this little stash of credit at Card Kingdom, and then I realize, oh, I want that new, there's a new card coming out, and I want the foil for my vintage cube or whatever. And I'll just have I can have the credit's right there, and I just get it, and and they have it, and I love it. I love the inventory always being there for me, and even on some of the persnickety stuff. So thank you, Card Kingdom, for all your support. Please remember you can get there via my affiliate links in the panels, in the chat, in the YouTube notes, and then they know you got there from here, and then that helps keep me on the air because they stay happy as a sponsor of mine. The world keeps going around. We've had mixed success on when the draft starts here. This one looks like it's firing pretty quickly. We had reports that in the dead hours at the midnight Pacific, it was really tough to find a match even in Best of 3 M21. Vargan says, is it weird that I like building Commander decks a lot more than I like playing Commander? At this point, the format is mostly just a complicated way to sort my collection. Vargan, I have said that my relationship with Commander is that it peaks at the deck concept. As the moment of conceiving of the deck that I want to even make, I'm going to build a deck that does this around this Commander. Boom. That's it peaks right there in that moment. Then it's pretty fun to hunt down ideas that go with your theme. Then you start hunting down the physical cards to put in the deck, and then by the end, I hate it. And then I never even want to play it. I'm too spiky for Commander. I can play Commander, and what I mean is not that not the salt problem, not like that I can't be jovial and take a loss or be fun to play with, that kind of thing. When I say I'm too spiky for Commander, what I mean is that it drives my brain crazy because I do my level best to assess the complete battlefield and make the best decisions I can. You all see how much trouble I have doing that here in just a two-player draft, right? And so when you add 4 other players and some of the most complicated cards in Magic, my brain looks around and tries to process it all and can't, and that really frustrates my brain. And the best times I have in Commander is when I can turn that off and stop trying to process everything and have a drink and enjoy the company or whatever. But as a spiky Magic limited player, it's really tough for me to pivot to Commander, where my brain wants to try and optimize every decision in a massively complicated board state. I've said this before on stream, I'll say it again. I think it's funny, ironic, weird that the most popular casual format in Magic is easily the most complicated format in Magic. There's no format is more complicated than Commander. Prove me wrong. Your average Commander game with Commander fanatics. We're close. Anybody want to draft with me? Yeah, go hop in the queue. We got 2 seats. 6 for M21. 6 for M21. Yeah, if you love it, if you love that kind of Medi is like on strike because of background choices. Must be playing Magic Online. Only one background choice there. We're close. We're close. One more player. And I just get to sit here and talk about stuff that comes to mind. There we go. Will everybody be ready? Seems like it. Get back to the draft view. Here we go. What do we got? Stormwing Entity. That's a fun place to start. 3/3 flyer for 5 is just okay, but a 3/3 flyer for 3 is excellent. However, we do just have some of the premium commons in the set, really. We have Basri's Acolyte with no other great white. There's a Charger, but there's also Dragonfire with only the Augur. Well, I did encourage people to jump in. Let's see, Zach is a couple seats upstream. Interesting. All right, we got 32 seconds, though. Do you like the rare, or are we just taking one of these sweet commons? I kind of just want to take the Dragonfire. Is that crazy? Like, this is fine. It's not a 3/3 flyer for 2. I don't know. I think I'll take the rare, because I also never I don't end up in blue red enough. And look at that. I take the rare and go right into tutelage. I'm in. Let's build around this. Find ourselves another one, maybe. Acolyte was a really good pick there. I think man, I don't know. I don't know what the time traveling supercomputer says about Stormwing Entity versus Dragonfire versus the third option there. Yeah, so we're just sticking to blue, right? Maybe we wheel this, but this is easy Ghostlight. Mirror is pretty good too, you're right, Haj. I like cutting the blue though. This is a fine pick and it cuts the blue hard. I think the cutting blue angle puts it over the top. Frankly, if there had been like 3 good blue cards and the mirror, then I do start to lean towards the mirror since you can't get any kind of cutting going. But while I don't prioritize downstream signals, the cutting is real when, you know, it's a tiebreaker. Take a weird as like the best card in the abstract red-blue deck that would be happy with a storming entity. Discontinuity is sexy, but not really pickable here. If you wanted a collection build, of course, but we're not too concerned about that. Probably just Sphere, continuing the cut of blue and keeping us open to, you know, we don't have to be red-blue just because we have a Stormwing entity or a tutelage. Would you take because you want to play it? Yeah, you like green with blue, but not for Sage here, right? I'm going to go with Sphere. Sticks on color. The weird is pretty good, but I like taking, again, the one good blue card in the pack. Well, Hodge suggesting the Mythic is playable. I don't know how good Hodge is saying it is, but at least playable. Epiphany Temple here. But wow, Shipwreck Dowser. I hear you loud and clear, table. Loud and clear. Probably just want a wall of runes here, although we could even take this black rare. There's a Rise Again that we could grab and actually potentially be do some self mill and be able to rise again. Yeah, actually, I think if we go black, we'd rather have the Rise Again. This does things against... It is best of 3. Like, this does stuff against some decks. I don't think we need to take either of these blue cards. I think I want to hedge towards a non-blue option, and I'm going to take Rise Again, because if we do end up Dimir, this is a card we would want in it. Carrion Grub, also part of that deck, but look at this. Magmut and Shock? I think we take Shock here and try and find our way to red-blue. My goodness, Shock, thank you. And we get a weird here over another rare. We would be snapping up the Gemmage. But you loot. When enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. And playing a tutelage deck makes you want to get other looters as well. Arcanist, not bad in this deck either. We'll take that. I'm going to move the Rise Again out. I'd really like to just listen to the table here and be red-blue. This looks like a fantastic start. And what have we done? Like, to deserve this? Thank you. Of course, we're going to, like, 0-2 this and drop, but, you know, it's a good start. Hobble Fiend, interesting also, but we're going to stick to the blue. Crash through, pretty perfect here, actually. Yeah, the entity, the Dowser, the double Ghostlight, all 5s. We're pretty heavy on 5s, and our removal is a 4-drop and a 1-drop, you know. But I think I've been doing okay this week. I had medium results for a while, Haj, but it's been going okay. Yeah, we took Dragonfire. We took Entity over Dragonfire to start. I think I'd rather have Crab, but probably not playing that to start either. Here's a Dragonfire we can grab now that we know what's up. Here's a Goblin Wizardry as well. Rousing Reed, also nice. Not going to take the Havoc Jester in this spot. This is not a rare for us. Pretty easy Dragonfire. Heck, can we wheel the Shock again? Can we wheel a Wizardry? Would love to wheel any of the red or blue cards in this pack. Literally any of them. Havoc Jester would be a fine wheel. So we're going to take Dragonfire and hope for a good wheel. This one right here. Top 5%. It is a pretty good looking pack with the feet. Like the only bad stuff in it is like the Vine, the Blackguard is pretty whatever, Indulgence, and this little quadrant here. Everything else is pretty sweet. Singer is going to be fine here. It is. We have a 2 as well, but really it's just Singer. There's nothing else for us. And it's fine. It's good in spells. We want a lot of crash throughs and opts and stuff now. I love the Stitcher too. Baseline looter, built-in reanimation, pretty cool. There we go. Another tutelage. Kind of makes it a deck. Another Stitcher for somebody else. Hopefully we wheel the crash through. Another weird here, but I'm 2 tutelage just means you can super build around it. So we're going to take it and kind of be a tutelage deck. It's not. It is now Feathers. we can make it one, right? Because like Ghost Light's bouncing stuff and Shipwreck recurring removal, you know, this means that double tutelage means we start using this end of things just to survive, and then we just kind of get there. Thrill helps with the tutelage angle. We can get Protege, but I bet we get those as needed. Let's take Wizardry though, and then see if we can wheel Thrill or Crash. It is at odds, though. I do acknowledge that, like, Goblin Wizardry is a plan and tutelage is a different plan. So, but they are both supported by, you know, crash throughs and ops and whatnot. So I'm going to take it even though it's not perfect synergy. Yeah, it can still help with the defense. Megalodon can help with the D. But maybe even just Glide Master here to shore up playable 2s. Not exciting, but it slips into the curve. Quaddle's interesting, but we're already pulling in 2 slightly different directions with kind of aggro spells versus tutelage. I don't want to go even into a third color for another mixed message about what the deck is trying to do. So Protege does the looting thing, which works with tutelage, but Larcenist also does the tutelage thing. I don't know, what do you think? First Protege, first Larcenist. Yeah, Larcenist does the thing too, right? It does draw at least 1 card. But Protege sits back and does it again and again. Larcenist frequently just gets the 1 in. It has a decent floor because it can so easily replace itself. Okay, we'll take Protege number 1. Peer into the Abyss. I was talking about how I like this constructed deck right now. Turn 5, Peer into the Abyss, combo kill. But we'll take a Wizardry pretty happily. And then a crash through. And another Wizardry makes it around, along with Capture Sphere and Jester. So our cutting of blue really helped, but I'm going to go with Wizardry number 3. And I'm going to take the third wizardry, and then we have the chance to go that direction harder. Crash through, perfect. Arsonist. Two prowess cards. We have Stormwing Entity, we have Dowser, we have 3 wizardries, and we have Singer on the prowess front, if that's the question. Not sure what the question is. Yeah, weird is like permanent prowess. Pursued Whale. Wow, what do we do here? Help me, chat. We've got Enthralling Hold and Kinetic Augur, both excellent in this. Well, this is just excellent because it's 2 for 1. Pursued Whale is a control, just a top-end finisher. But then we got another Dragonfire, just like... I think there is, as Jinx says, an argument for the hold. The hold is a 2 for 1 is really appealing here. So that's what it comes down to. Well, also the Augur. The Augur is really nice. But I do think we just take the Dragonfire. It's good with everything we're trying to do. Reign of Revelation or Shock is a new question we need to answer here. We have 1 Shock and 2 Dragonfires and no Rains and 2 Tutelages, so I'm going to take Rain. I see what you did there. Tooting or farting. I see what you did there. I think we're doing both. Can we do both? Is that wrong? I just feel like we have a solid aggro plan, solid aggro tempo plan with this backup tutelage plan. I think we just want more Ghost Lights rather than like a Devil's. Well, it's not. If it's wrong, it's not fine. We should build the deck that gives us the best chance of winning. Here we can take another Capture Sphere. Well, I like the plan or the job situation. So, like, you know, we just have stuff that has kind of competing jobs, potentially. I don't know if that goes in yet. But with 3 Crash Through, we haven't seen any opts, which is weird. Another Protege, or just first Denial. Lofty Denial maybe doesn't suck here. We have the triple Ghost Light and the Entity, so late game it is likely going to be a legit hard counter, hardish counter. I think I like Denial number 1 over Protege number 2. More crabs. Certainly nothing else for us. We're not going to take a Prismite. Not that desperate. Yeah, I'm not even seeing the green-white. Obviously, we're nowhere near it, so whatever. Riddle Form versus just taking the thrill. A thrill. 13 seconds. I'm taking the Riddle Form. I think we have a chance at wheeling a thrill still. Cancel here is fine. Yeah, this is really getting pulled in 2 different directions with the blue-red deck here, huh? We'll see. I don't know if we need the 2. I mean, we have 3 Crash Throughs if we were talking about doing stuff early. Sure thing, Narwhals. I mean, we've seen a couple Stitchers go by. We've seen now a lot of green-white go by. It just feels like it's one of those drafts where everything seems open. Like, you think we're going to wheel that auger? It's possible. Nope. Yeah, Norbert, I think, has the right question. Looks like we're out of cards to play, though. Somehow our colors ended up, like, maybe we didn't end up, quote, in the right lane, in the sense that they're clearly we are competing for cards in our colors by the end. But I think the deck is solid to good, even no matter how we end up building it. Catching up on stuff over here. Let's see, we paid gems today, right? 1,500 and 20 on the grind. Righto. Yeah, let's build it without tutelage and see what a, focusing on the wizardry crash through trips looks like. Probably don't want to cancel in that deck. Maybe we don't even want to protege, although gotta play something. 12, 14. No, I don't think it's take out everything. We only have 3 cuts here. No need to take out everything. Let's just actually look here. Yeah, Arsonist could go. I don't know what that's doing for us exactly. Let's cut that. The triple crash through does mean we could pull a land. Yeah, maybe we do we cut 5 drops? It's just that we have these crash throughs that make me think we can shave, but maybe that's being too greedy, and we should just. Although I think we would want more mountains, right? Hobble Fiend, not that great, you're right, but we do only have 3 creatures in the 2 slot, so I'm not going to cut it. Yeah, I hear you all on Hobble Fiend, but I'm playing this as a weak 2-1 for 2 that sometimes will do some stuff, mostly not. We could cut a Capture Sphere as suggested. We do have 2 Dragonfire and a Shock for our removal suite, plus Roaming Ghost Lights starting to bounce stuff once they get going. So we could do, oops, that. This is on 17. I think this should be a 17 lander. We can use Rain and Protege to loot away lands if we want. Yeah, I'm not going to cut Rain. Even this is too good. We're like, this is tempo aggro non-creature. We got to run stuff like the Rain. If anything, we're like bringing a Read the Tides to finish. But yeah, Protege could go. That's a totally reasonable cut. It does. Don't have a lot going on at 3, but maybe our 3 can sometimes be a 2 plus crash through. Yeah, pretty thick at 5, but Stormwing can be a 4. Or sorry, it can be a 3, right? Yeah, I'm the one who misread this. I was thinking it said this spell costs 3 if, but it costs 2 if. So Stormwing Entity on 3 with the crash throughs is a real possibility. So I kind of like leaving the 5s. Well, Andrew, we are in best of 3, so we're talking about starting with a no tutelage aggro build and then bringing in tutelage when it's just killer against the opponent. Right, so we'll look at that build before we go in. Let's call this... they're crashing through... Wizards are crashing through, so I'm going to call it Pinball Wizards. So I'm going to save that one. I do, Fluffy. I'm an old person, so I remember that. And then we're going to look at what does the tutelage version look like, where we are controlling, I guess, Wall of Runes. If we're bringing in the control version, we probably, against control, we don't even want Wall of Runes. So Wall of Runes maybe doesn't make the cut either way. In this case, what are we doing? We would be cutting like Riddle Form. Is Riddle Form cut in this spot? A Ghost Light? You want this stuff in? Like that. Cut a Wizardry. 2 Wizardry, says Hodge. Yeah, Hobble Fiend's pretty bad. If we're up against control, we're feeling like we don't need this, right? So you bring Hodge really wants the other Ghost Light. Well, what are we cutting then? You want to cut do we just cut all the Wizardries if we don't think that's what the deck is going to be successful with? It's kind of like, is this a Wizardry deck or is this a tutelage deck, right? So then this is our, we have to rename the deck. It's about tutelage, it's about teaching, it's about roaming teachers. Well, no, what we're doing here is building a future deck to bring in against a deck we think tutelage is good against. And so if Wall of Runes is good, tutelage isn't, is my opinion. Really? You want the Wall over Glide Master? I guess I'm going to leave it this way, and this is just a roadmap anyway. We're not actually saving this. I'm just going to save a screen of it, and then we can massage it. We just need to be ready to massage this down to 40 during sideboarding. Yeah, I like Wandering Teacher or something. Except it has to have the right picture on the box. You think this is the stronger deck? Well, we can talk about it. How about this? I'll pull it. And we can, I'll start with whatever people think is the stronger starting deck. So, aggro or mill is how I will put this. I should call it tempo. I'm going to go tempo mill. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know if even the non-mill build qualifies as tempo per se, but you know what I mean. You can certainly vote. Interesting draft. Interesting choices here. Let's go. Let's see. So if we're going to start here, I did take a screen of the other one, right? Hold on. Let me make sure I did. Yeah, I did. So I can pull up the screenshot as needed. So we'll just actually save this. Just taking another look, make sure I like everything I'm seeing. Nope. Let me bling that. All right, Mirage. Bing, 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 bing. Mirage Mountain, great mountain. Some say best mountain. I say great mountain. I don't know about best, but it's a great mountain. It's John Avon. I love John. I'm thinking of the mountain over swamp or island because of the crash throughs that we may need to run through early on. Plus shock and dragonfire as early removal. But I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to actually have it. I don't know, you think 9, is this right? I lean 9 because of the crash throughs, but boy, there's a lot of blue going on here in the early, huh? And even the double blue cancel. I'm not worried about these double blue. By the time we're doing this, we should be fine. I'm worried about what's going on at 1, 2, and 3. But the cancel is going on at 3, and there's a lot going on at 2 in blue and 3 in blue. So yeah, maybe it is this way. I agree that we're more blue than red, but as always, my when I'm assessing what my split should be, I am very focused on what's happening on turns 1, 2, and 3, more so than what's going on at 5. So calling out all the double blue at 5, when we're just talking about the difference between 9-8 or 8-9, I'm really not worried about the double at 5. I'm really worried about what we're most likely to be able to do early and what we need to be able to do early. But you could still make that argument again for blue, that if we can't cast our crash throughs early, that's okay. They show up and start to make our prowess stuff work later anyway. I don't think I want to do 10-7 though. I think that's wrong. I think we have too much we want to do with both colors early. It's hard to say that when you've got triple crash through. I hear that you're calling it a splash, but it's not about overall, it's not about these numbers. It's not about 7 pips versus 16 pips. It's about what are we trying to do on turns 1, 2, and 3, and that needs an even split. So I'm going to go with this, and I hear the riddle form suggestion too. We need to start. I want to play. So let's go. You can give me a par prediction though. Yeah, we can keep this. I'm going to go ahead and fire off this crash through. Then turn 2, we have Lofty Denial with a Dragonfire and a Shock already. Lork Tuxim, our opponent. There we go. Wondering what's going on there. Cool. Hoping we found a land, and we did. Found our second blue source for these double blue 5s. One question will be deny or dragonfire. Usually if I have anything that can deny, if I have a lofty denial that can get work done, I do that. I'm going to go shields down here, though, and do protege. And then we have, so we can't use lofty denial here, but we get to untap with shock and dragonfire, which is going to take most things they can do. Of course, they could have their own lofty denial, but let's make them have it. Yeah, we could face Zach. I mean, if the Q health is pretty low, it means the population of people to play against might be pretty low. I think cancel is in this build too, Haj. But, I mean, this is protege, like, we are doing double tutelage, right? We like looting. Here we can go Dragonfire. We can go Glidemaster, Dragonfire. I like Glidemaster, hold up Dragonfire, Lofty Denial here. And we can start with an attack even. I don't care if they block or not. If they do block, I'm not going to finish it off with a shock even. We could consider that. Maybe we do just finish it off with a shock, but let's do this. Not sure we want to go shields down on Lofty Denial is all. I don't think I'm going to. I like setting up that they can make that block. And it's no big deal. We don't have anything. Swoop. Yeah, so we could, of course, shock that or Dragonfire that, but I like Lofty is only workable in response situations, so I'm gonna cast the Lofty while we got it. Could leave Protege back to loot, trying to find the 5th land, but I'm fine with turning sideways a bit here and leaving up Shock and Dragonfire. And we could Dragonfire the Enforcer now while shields are down over there. I mean, we don't want to get Feat of Resistance or countered. Actually, I'm going to do that. There's no, like, this is worthy. You think it's not worth it, Surion? One thing that's pushing me is that we have a Dowser that's going to be able to get us back stuff, and we're probably just going to get the Dragonfire back. So, like, by using it up now, we set ourselves up to get it back in a turn. So I'm going to do it. Plus, you know, mean value. Oops, not that one. This one. No big deal. We get to shock that and hopefully find Dowser mana off the top. Yeah. Some more dragons are going to be out of work. We're going to fire some dragons. Crash through is nice here. We get to make this bigger and have trample. Could just Ghostlight the Arcanist and test this mana here. Not sure what they're holding up. I think I like Crash through and hold, you know, and see. You just Ghostlight here. I'm not going to Ghostlight into all that open mana. I'm going to Crash through. See what we get anyway. Because we get a land, we can still maybe attempt the Ghostlight while still getting some information here. This pause is very telling, for example. Yeah, we just give the Glidemaster flying. Try to press our aggressive advantage here, even though this is ostensibly our control-ish build. Exactly. You know, we can play around We can play around Lofty Denial by not tapping out. And now we can save this for the end of their turn. I'm going to hold the Glide Master back, just send in the Dowser, and then keep all this stuff up. Keep the rain. Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. In this case, do we just want to send out the Protege again? Given the double tap creatures, yeah, I think just building board with the Protege makes sense. I guess that was a weird scoop spot, but okay. What are we up against? A weird this seems more tempo aggro. I don't know if this is the best matchup. Do you want to? We're going to be on the draw against kind of what looks to be somewhat tempo skies. Like, I think the aggro is probably better, but maybe not on the draw. But the aggro build looks like this, right? Riddle Form comes in, and then we're cutting a Capture Sphere, cancel, Protege, tutelages. So this is kind of the switcheroo that we could pull here. I mean, let's give this a try. But it is weird to go aggro on the draw. I don't know. I'm gonna try it though. Maybe I'm being fancy play here with the switch though. I'm not sure. Both decks look interesting and good though. Yeah, it's not much of a switcheroo when Oppo never saw the tutelages were no longer running, but got to mulligan this, unfortunately. 17 lands, but not enough of it here. All right, this is certainly keepable, and probably have to just toss an island and try to get by on 2 lands, find a third, and then a fourth, and keep our action. Then we can deny something and Singer with any, you know, and if we get stuck, if we do miss our third land drop, we still have Dragonfire. So I like Greed here. Yeah, you could say Lofty also, because we're going to be countering, but we counter their 3 with our 2. That's decent also. Wizardry is safer, but I don't know if we want to be safe when we've already mulliganed. I like taking a little bit of a risk to try and recover from the mulligan, and keeping more action is generally, especially on the draw. You know, we get extra draws here. I'm going to do it this way. We could be punished. I understand that punishment is one of the possible results here. I've decided to take on that risk. And part of it is because if we do miss, we still have 2 plays we can make before a third land. So we have that. Do we care about the Arcanist? No, we're going to keep the denial up here. I don't think the Arcanist is important enough for a Dragonfire, but again, going to deny and be happy about having a spot to use this card whenever, especially after a mulligan. Gonna go Singer on turn 3 most likely though, go Shields down, and then be able to Dragonfire whatever they play. Well, not necessarily whatever they play, but Dragonfire likely to be able to get most of the stuff they play. Ideal draw, of course, is land number 4. Then we can Wizardry into Dragonfire, or possibly land number 5 and one of our others. Well, Ghostlight, I'm going to send that thing back to hand eventually now. All right, got what I wanted. Even the double blue to boot. We could go with Wizardry now while shields are down on the blue and while it would actually pump the Singer. I think I'm going to do that. I think it's fancy play to give them a chance to interact with this. Enthralling, that's fine. Ooh, we even got, we could just kill it. But I kind of like Ghostlight. Let's see. Well, if we kill it, we can Ghostlight this and kill this. Well, the trouble is if we, let's say we bounce our Singer, great. Then we still have a 2/4 that we're not really managing. So that's my concern there, and because we can just Scorch the Singer, and also lets us get in for damage this turn. We need to bounce the 2/4. And then next turn, killing the Singer triggers our wizards as well. And then we get to douse back whatever we want, whether it's Wizardry or Dragonfire, most likely. Could even get the argue for the Lofty Denial if we get set up in a spot where we have a flyer and can basically counter anything Appa would do to stop our plan. Capture Sphere. Well, we're just going to go with the main phase, Dragonfire. They've got 2 mana up. Let's see if they have anything. You know, if it's counter, we have the mana to pay. But I just want to use Dragonfire now and see what, if anything, they've got. They have the Denial. So let's send the Ghostlight and make this offer, and then we have Dowser on the bounce back anyway. This is fine to me. We're wearing them down. If they attack with Larcenist, I probably block both here. Got to try and kill the Larcenist for one of our wizards. Okay, interesting non-attack. I would have absolutely attacked if I were Oppo. Why not? Get that card. Maybe they've got other plans for the Larcenist, some other way to make it evasive. Could be. Maybe I shouldn't play this yet. What are we trying to do? Dragonfire, Wizardry, Denial are our return choices. Yeah, I probably just want the Dragonfire, and anything else is just like fancy play. Denial is weak right now, especially at Denial that they know we have, right? So we'll just get our premium common removal spell and pass it for now. We actually can cast both of these next turn, make 3/3 Goblin Wizards and a 5/5 Dowser. Pretty strong. Ideally, they spend a lot of mana on like 1 flyer or something like that right now. Feat of Resistance doesn't even kill the Dowser. I'm going to risk Dowser here. You gotta... one of the strengths of the Larcenist is that it's really well disguised tricks. I mean, this isn't a very tricksy color pair, but the beauty is that you just don't know if they're attacking as a suicide attack to get the card or whether it is like they're doing something sneaky. And you kind of have to presume, especially against these types of colors, that it's a suicide attack to draw the card. And I'd rather risk the Dowser here than the double wizard anyway, I think. So we're gonna cross our fingers. A single Feat of Resistance doesn't kill the Dowser, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this. Like, unusual response, but there you go. Sometimes this rare is more than a 2-1 for 2. White is plenty tricksy, but not really with something that punishes that block, right? Because feat of resistance, what I guess it could be like feat plus the +1/+0 draw card. You know, that's not impossible, I suppose. Well, both of these operate at instant speed, so I'm going to send in everything, and I don't really play around rookie mistake. Even the rookies don't seem to make the mistake of playing that card, so I haven't really seen it. I don't know. But let's head in knowing that we can cast both of these instants and that Oppo doesn't have great blocks if they try to... And they know about the Dragonfire, but... Like, they don't know that we can make 3/3s here. So now I like Capture Sphere, the Arcanist, Dragonfire, the Larcenist. Really, Haj? Yeah, I just haven't seen it that much, so I don't play around it. I mean, would you expect it from Oppo there? I don't know. I certainly wasn't playing around it from Oppo in that exact spot, I guess would be what I would say. Let's kill the Larcenist right off the board. And then go ahead and Sphere the Arcanist. Yeah, it's fair enough. Haj says, I'd never play around it, which is why it's not terrible. It's so terrible that you would never play around it, which makes it not terrible. Solid turn for the deck. Let's see what Oppo can do to get their feet under him here. Ah, couple land draws in a row really hurt us here. We can offer up the Dowser for one of their 2 creatures. Right now, the Enforcer doesn't tap down, though, so I'm going to be patient. I really don't like that Protege starts to fix their quality ahead, and we're just drawing randomly off the top. But we're also, we don't have... I don't know what the plan is if we send in Dowser here. Like, trade off or something and then have a couple of prowess tokens. We should just wait. We do have card draw, though. So I'm going to play an island. Oh. Is this me or you? Are you all with me? What was that? I get so nervous. I didn't post videos yesterday because you know how those of you who were with me yesterday, my stream died early on. Yeah, I guess I should restart. Oh, really? That means I've lost? Well, certainly be requesting a refund if this doesn't go well for us. But anyway, the problems with my stream yesterday led to a video that didn't process. So I was unable to upload any of yesterday's content to YouTube. Those of you watching on YouTube today, well, there's the rain that prompted me to want to play lands out, and I'm going to do it now. Actually, I'm going to leave... This is interesting. We have a mountain we could play, but we also have all these crash throughs that could lead to a win. So I'm going to give a chance at, like, stupid numbers of crash throughs, since we're not likely to play any of our double blue this turn anyway. Hey, let's see. We could actually ditch the Ghost Light and trigger the Wizardry with another Wizardry, and then all of them with a Shock. And the Shock... Well, actually, yeah. Because we haven't played a land yet, right? Weird to pitch a ghost light, but we could... Yeah, we could drop the shock since it doesn't kill anything here, but it goes to the face and triggers everything. So I'm going to pitch the ghost light. Oh, wait, we did play a land. Never mind. Apparently that was wrong. But we get to attack again. Oh, it played it on my... I see. Okay, yeah. Well, I got discombobulated by the disconnect then. That definitely would not be the pitch I would have made had I known that we weren't able to play that mountain. But I was very confused by our disconnect. Let's see. I am more worried about their ability to find cards via looting than tapping. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to shock. Let's see if we shock. Can't do shock on Enforcer like get a double kill. We'll just shock face and make sure we at least get one of these dead. That's still pretty good. Just would have been better to have the ghost light, given what I now know about our actual game state. Tutelage from Oppo. Let's see if they find anything to help their situation. Lost our cool Stormwing entity, but Wizardry should be just GG here, right? With 8 land. 8 mana. Huh, funny. All right, well, you get that, but we get to eat your Enforcer or win the game. So now looking good for us. 16 cards. We're pretty well protected against tutelage, even in the face of a Rousing Read. I can't figure out what they could come up with here that saves them. Oppo can't find it. All right. Well, have we learned anything? Should we be hybriding this deck from the get-go and running both Wizardries and Tutelages in the same deck? Or should we stick to the plan? We could try leading with the non-Tutelage version. We could play the Crab in this build. Maybe Crab belongs here over the Protege, or... Wizardry with Tutelage. We don't even have that deck built. Well, we can switch it up. I went with the vote, but there's plenty of people who wanted to try it the other way. So we can open on aggro, which was... like... these back in, and the Hobble Fiend in. And then there was one other cut. Maybe it was one Ghost Light, or maybe it was one Sphere. I think one Sphere was it. Sure, we can try it this way. Oh wait, there was a Riddle form in this build. What do we have for the Riddle form? Maybe this is where we cut a Ghost Light. Be a little more committed. Yeah, Protege. Yeah, maybe it's Protege. All right, let's try this. Maybe we need to come up with a deck name that refers to both the wizards and the teacher and the tutelage, like something about the tension there. Boo! Gross opener that we can't keep. This does nothing. Better, better, better. We're gonna keep this. Going to ditch the... Well, here we are again. I'm either ditch... If we ditch the Ghost Light, then 3 lands almost feels too much for this hand. If we ditch a land, the Ghost Light feels silly. So, trouble entity, if we find ourselves a one of our 3... crash throughs, we get a turn 3 Stormwing entity. We're going to take that shot. So the question is, it's land or Ghostwing or Ghost Light. We're going to do Ghost Light. Let's be grown up. Well, we could even, if we get a right. I mean, if we play, we crash through and then pay 1 in a blue. So we can actually cast this on 3 if we get the goods. But we have 2 draws to find a crash through for that. No luck there, but at least we have 5 mana, so we can Stormwing it. And we can Dragonfire and cast this on 4. So that's all right. Let's go Hobble Fiend and then try to Dragonfire Stormwing on 4. That's a little awkward. Wizardry could be what we do on 4 instead, but we're just going to hold the Dragonfire and potentially use it if needed. We could use it now while they're tapped out if we fear Feat of Resistance. But I do like the idea of trying to Dragonfire an entity on 4. I think that's a very strong play. The trouble is it means we don't do anything here, but if we do decide we need to Dragonfire, we can Dragonfire and then Wizardry is a backup plan for 4. So let's say no attacks. Yeah, if they attack into the Hobble Fiend, that's a great sign because it means they almost certainly have a trick that we can then block and respond to. So let's see. That probably means they're just not going to attack. Hey, great. So we this has does not have flash though, so we have to main phase this. Hey, Golem, how's it going? And I think we just want to pick off this veteran before it start. If they get counters on stuff, this is going to go crazy. So let's pick off the veteran and then Stormwing. Nice. Rain, we'll keep that on top and bin the land. We have a Stormwing entity that without prowess dies to a snare spinner block, but with prowess defeats the snare spinner. So in our ideal world, yeah, Oppo taps out here. And then we get this pretty easy attack because are they going to block the entity or not? Let's find out. If they do, we get them pretty good. And in this case, I'm gonna Wizardry now. Yeah, Crackback is solid, but we are going to do some cracking back too here. I think this is great, really. I'm going to Wizardry now, get 4 in. And between rain and the possibility of raining into like crash throughs, we could do some serious damage next turn. And we have a Hobble Fiend sack if we wanted to threaten eating a token for a 3/2. But I kind of want to encourage a race, especially with them stuck on land. Like, let's turn this into a race. So that's a lot of damage for, we're taking 8. But we just show so much potential back the other way. And I'm not going to threaten any of our stuff with a block. If they have no no follow-up here is potentially trouble for them, but we need to rein into like some of our crash throughs. Hey, that's not a bad rain result either, though. We can go rain, holding the mountain, so if we don't find more, we can still Dragonfire. And there's one of those crash throughs I was talking about. Unfortunately, can't do both, but we can save a crash through for next turn, or maybe we save the Dragonfire. But actually, Dragonfire now probably good to get done, so we don't die to a crackback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can't just win on damage here. So we should kill something while getting some extra damage, is what I'm thinking. But, now I wish I had main phase the Dragonfire, because if they have feet, that would change maybe what we do. Yeah. So, but really what I should have done is Dragonfired main phase. It would have answered all of our questions, right? But we'll probably need to keep Hobblefiend back now. But if we had played this main phase, we might be able to swing away here. Well, we can put an upkeep stop to try and Dragonfire on their turn, but if we Dragonfire now, we get an extra 3 damage in. So that's the question. But I think if they have feet, they need to use it now, and then we chump. It's not worth it? I don't know. 3 extra damage. And then we're crashing through next turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drops him to 8 versus 7, 6, 5. I don't know. It could make a difference. It could make a difference. So I'm going to do it. And do we want to go Scourge or Battalion? Jinx would wait. I'm going to do it. A lot of people want to wait. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with Scourge as my gut. So Ranger's Guile. Is there an instant speed trample enabler in this colors? I can't think of any. Not heck, you could almost take this, but now we're going to assume that we just have to block the most powerful thing here. Yeah, we're going to block. We don't want to lose to +4/+4 or whatever. But I was just trying to figure out if there was trample to worry about. Crappy draw. We just need, but it still should be fine because we crashed through and should win. Maybe they decided the only way they could win is if we ran out of prowess enabling. They decided not to play around spells if they felt they couldn't beat them. possibly. Green, white, we know that's a nice color pair. We got to play around a Ranger's Guile and probably some Feats of Resistance. Yeah, it might have been inadvisable to send it all, though. They could have still... But let's see, what are we doing? I don't think our tutelage deck is going to... I like keeping this build, even though we're on the draw. I think tutelage doesn't feel great against this type of strategy. So, is there anything else we need? We could put in a crab. Crab seems decent in the matchup. Like... Crab over Riddle Form. Yeah, I could do a Wall of Runes. Yeah, Wall doesn't do... I never liked 0 power defense. It just is so easy to attack past. But what did I want the crab. Well, I think I would rather have a crab than the Capture Sphere Hodge, because I think this does hold off a lot on the ground. But what did we bring? Oh, I brought in a crab already. We didn't see feet, but it could be there. I'm going to try this. Go with the Riddle Form on the play again. If we end up on the play, I'll put the Riddle Form back in. Can we keep this? We got the Crash Through in the Stormwing entity. We just need a red source. We do have an Arcanist anyway, and it's really good if we do get our red source. I'm very tempted by this, but maybe I'm just being very greedy at wanting to get Crash Through Stormwing entity on 3. But with the Arcanist play, I think it's justifiable. I'm going to keep. One time, Magic Gods, give us the fun. Mountain off the top. Mountain off the top, Magic Gods. One time, please. Oh, come on. Come on. There's still time, Magic Gods. There's still time. No luck for our team on this particular risk, but we're not out of this. Got plenty of stuff we could do to recover here. Now if we get the mountain, we can just do Dragonfire Entity. Blocking here seems a little silly in the face of possible feats, and even in the face of the +1/+1 hexproof, although it would get it out of their hand, but still, nah, we're not going to block. Not quite yet. I'm not ready to give up Arcanist for anything yet. So here it comes, whether or not, if we're not blocking, we should attack. And I'm not going to block. I'm just not yet. Yeah, there's big upside for the keep here. We're getting a little punished. It happens. I still like the risk we took. Ouch. One of the worst draws in our deck for sure. Well, because I would rather start blocking a 2 that can't pump so easily. Also, I just don't like trading off a creature that, like, if we found a land, if we found a mountain, we're going to burn this thing out. I just don't like throwing a speed bump, what I presume is a speed bump, if we do get what we need to win, which is mountains, then we have answers, right? And if we don't find mountains, we're going to lose anyway. And if we find mountains, I'd rather have the Arcanist for future blocking and future shenanigans. But I think this is not going to happen here. We are going to try and find our way in game 3. But I'll give it one more draw. I suppose a mountain off the top. Well, Dreadnought kind of seals it, right? And Dreadnought maybe says, do bring in the other capture sphere. Yeah, that's not going to do it for us here. We're going to let this one go. Risky keep bit us, but this is best of 3. We can recover here. Maybe we do just want a capture sphere over the crab, given the 6/6. Like, we don't really have any other answers to the 6/6 besides bouncing it a bunch and eventually sphering it. And we're back on the play. We can go riddle form and maybe pull even a ghost light. Although that's pretty effective in managing 6/6s for 6 as well, bouncing them. Still, this does the job a turn earlier, but maybe we just do this. Well, we're trying to be aggressive enough here that I think we just want 2s. I don't think we want to cut another a 2-drop creature. I know this is not that impressive, but I can't quite cut it when we're trying to be tempo oriented here. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to run this. Couldn't quite bring myself to cut the ghost light for a sphere when I do fear Feat of Resistance, and ghost light does a similar job but leaves an attacking body behind. Come on, Magic Gods, give us a nice opener. Yeah, I'll call that a nice opener, sure. Gonna go ahead and cycle the crash through. Make sure that we, if we need to cast the Dowser on 5 and we don't find anything else to get with it, we'll be really happy there's a crash through to get with a Dowser. Did Oppo just mull twice? Would not turn that down. I'll take Oppo's bad luck when I can get it. Not why we play or anything, but we're going to glide here over holding up Dragonfire. We don't have anything to do on 3, so if they play a creature we want to hit with this, it should be wide open for turn 3. Even better, though, is just having Lofty Denial for their next turn. Well, we got a lot of reactionary stuff in hand, and Oppo struggling on the mulligan to 5, so... Man, we can even just shock that. But again, I'm inclined to Lofty while we can Lofty, but also shock while you can shock is legit as well. I think I need to do that. Shock feels less flexible to me than Lofty. I'd rather keep Lofty. If they're stuck on mana at all or stuck on action, like this only punishes us if they had 2 4-drops and a bunch of land and now get to go 5th land and another 4-drop. That's good for us, but I'm not going to Dowser here. We're going to leave up our tools to control. We can't Lofty it, but what are they going to do with this? They're going to create a beast token, so we let them create the beast token, and then we make glide. Oh yeah, great call. Jeez, I didn't see that, chat. Brilliant, brilliant. This one's for chat. I did not see this line. Did not see it. Good work. Sometimes chat distracts me, sometimes chat saves my butt. It kind of goes both ways. So, Dowser getting back. Denial kind of says they have one turn. And then we get shields up again. And then we get to capture sphere, whatever they land. And then rain. Yeah, I think we just Dowser. We need to Dowser for some pressure for sure. Question is just what we're getting back. And really, Lofty Denial is it. Shock is okay too. Shock can go to the face and do all that stuff. But I love getting the Lofty Denial and being able to say we get to kind of shut you down here. Here we can Scorch and Stormwing. It doesn't mean you don't get to leave up the denial, but actually I just like Dragonfire. Yeah, let's Dragonfire and Stormwing. I don't see how they recover from this. And can't do the trick this time, so we say sure, you get that. I can even offer the Dowser though, because like I don't even care if they trade this off. If we drop a Stormwing with all this action afterwards. So I'm going to offer them. I'm going to let's see. We could also just fly the Dowser. Yeah, I know, but we can get a 3/3 for 2 here. I think we should just do that. So I'm going to send Dowser, offer the trade. And then play the Stormwing. Wow, they took it anyway. Scry is just like frosting gravy. Frost thinks we just should have left up the denial. Trouble is we didn't have a flyer to like make the denial actually that good. I think denial was the right thing to get back, but we didn't need to bend over backwards to leave it up. Maybe so, Funk. Given that the denial ended up being pretty weak with a lack of flyer available immediately, but if we went long, it would have been fine. Take two things, mash them together, and make them awful. Frosting gravy, everybody likes. Okay, fine, gravy frosting then. Gravy frosting is for your cakes, and frosting gravy is for your potatoes. Yeah, but not that would allow us to cast the thing that turn. But that's why I thought it was okay, Surion, is that we, while we couldn't cast the Lofty with the flyer enabled that turn, we were going to untap and have it after that, which felt pretty strong. Oh boy, the terrible cuisine combinations we could come up with. Let's adjust the record. Huh. Well, none of our 2-drop aggro, but we do have denial. And so I'm going to keep this. We have both our colors in a 2-drop, so. Pteranodon. Well, whatever it is, we're countering it. Ghost Light's waiting in the wings. Hopefully Oppo plays something shockable and then we find a couple of lands on top. Well, it is shockable. I don't know if we want to. Do we want to? I suppose so, because it makes wizardry tokens a little more vulnerable. I'm going to do it, just because of our wizardry plan. And plus, because if we do find what we need, our mana is tied up for the next couple turns anyway. Oppo's stuck. I'm trying to take advantage of that. All right. That's cool. We can capture Sphere something at the end of the turn, or just know that we have Ghostlight mana. So if they unlock themselves, we still get to tempo them out quite a bit here. Definitely going to Ghostlight that. We don't want to capture Sphere a Lord. Yeah, I'll take it. I had my share of bad luck. I'll take some good luck on the mana. I'll take some good luck in the form of Oppo bad luck. You could argue that I should hold the island for rain, but I would argue that we want to play the island for rain. That we cast the rain, discard the almost certain land we draw from that, and then have lots of mana to spend on with the spells we drew. Green-red. Don't know much else about it, other than it's 2-0 and probably pretty good. We could try the tutelage build on the draw. Is that fancy play to just switch it up because? But I do feel like tutelage could get there, although if green ramps out some aggro, boy, we could get rolled over. I don't know. Does it die to... I don't know if it dies to kitties. Oh, that's true. No, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant, like, because it creates extra large cats that attack me. You're talking about actually the naturalize effect on the creature. Gotcha. Is that a reason not to go that direction? Is that good enough? Yeah, we could pull the riddle form and just add the sphere and keep it the same other than that. Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I don't know which version of our deck is better here. Running out of time. No, not really. We could still fix it if we wanted to go the yeah, any kitty. You want to go Sphere, cancel in for Riddle, Lofty? I think the Lofty was okay, although you're right that it's worse on the draw. But got the other Sphere in. I'm going to leave the Lofty over the cancel. What a weird decision with this deck. It can just go so strongly in two different directions. I'm not going to do another best of 3 after this, but I won't quit after this. This seems like a keep. Early defense into, ooh, brilliant draw too. Singer on 3 into Wizardry into Spell, Spell, Spell. Ooh, another good draw. We're just going to go Shields down on our spells and just curve out on Prowess and 2-drops. I haven't finished playing that deck out, Funk. I did play another couple of games and won. We could go back to that. That's something we could definitely do. Blocking with Glide Master, would we? Probably would block with Glide Master. It's really just about early defense. I'm going to play Singer and be willing to block with Glide Master. I mean, this is why, in the abstract, limited resources, me, other voices of the limited community are down on things like 4/2s for 3 or 4/2s for 4. Generally, as soon as you are paying 3 mana for 2 toughness, you're just often going to be trading down. So, attacks each turn if able. At this point, we just Capture Sphere that. We're going to take 1 hit and then just Capture Sphere it next turn. Ooh, Shock is interesting too. But yeah, Capture Sphere is fine here. I guess I'll attack first, though. We can even wait till their turn. This is instant speed, and red-green doesn't have anything that punishes us for waiting. Well, Guile punishes us, but Guile certainly... It doesn't punish us for waiting, because if they have Guile, they have Guile. We could do it on their upkeep, and then at least if they have Guile, we tax their mana on their turn. Let's do that. Yeah, well, I missed Prowess, but I was legit thinking of trying to do it on their turn to mess with them. So it was at least intentional, Foil King. Whether correct or not is open to debate. But I do like... well, because hopefully I've explained it now, Jinx, but let's go and either tax their mana or just successfully do it here. Yeah, I don't like giving them a draw, though, because they legit showed us the Ranger's Guile. So I don't want them to draw that here. They got some good use out of a Shock there, but I like our hand. I think we're in good shape. Wizardry, Shock, all of this is at instant speed. Our whole hand operates at instant speed, so we're just going to pass. Dragonfire is going to eat that, but we're going to go Wizardry and Dragonfire on our turn. Could be Guile again, so that's worth keeping in mind, but... let's see if there's any pause here. Yeah, no pause. No pause, so this should be fine. Oh, wow, another Wizardry, though. Still, I don't think we can mess around. One thing we could do is Rain, looking for that extra land. I think that's worth doing. We just have to be... We're going to have to discard something. This is somewhat risky. If there's no land in our top 3, this is unfortunate, but we could still Shock face and attack with our goblins and know that one of them would trade with the Avenger. Why do this? Because I'm looking to find our 6th land, trigger Prowess, then trigger Prowess again off killing the Avenger. You think this is too greedy? I think that 3 chances to find a line, a land is strong, and our fallback is fine too. Our fallback is still that we Shock face and are still okay. I'm gonna do it. You'll see, we'll be fine. Totes fine. Only question now is whether we want Entity or not. I think we just Dragonfire, though. That's pretty good, but we get to go around it pretty good. Let's see. With 6 mana, we can go Shock, Wizardry, and Shock plus... I think we just get there off of attacking all, right? So we attack all. If they block anything... Yeah, we Shock face and then they're dead, right? Okay, just making sure. Yeah, we got it. If they have life goes on, the game goes on. But hey, we have Lofty Denial. We just counter that with our sweet trick of Bounce the Glide Master. All right, cleaned up with that deck. My goodness. I think we went to a game 3. Somebody beat us somewhere in there. I think the tutelage version was great too. I don't know what I mean, we 3-0'd leaning mostly towards the aggro, but I think the tutelage version was good too. All right. Claim this prize. Very nice. Thanks for finding that line on the make the dude fly and Lofty Denial becomes counter Garrick. That was awesome. My clever chat. Somebody around here is good at the game at least. Absolutely. That is meme worthy. Probably owe you one from yesterday. Well, actually, we didn't 3-0 yesterday, but I think I missed those last week when we were 3-0 in a bit. Very nice. All right, we got some more time. We could finish up the quick draft Eldraine. We could just do a new Eldraine quick draft on a different account. Yeah, we could do an Amonkhet Remastered draft too. Again, I think I would go to a different account for that, but I'll pull it. Probably do an incomplete draft here. So I'm going to say either... did I say goodbye to YouTube? I didn't, did I? Let's do that. Sorry, YouTube. Hold on. Let's let them off the hook. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was cool. 3-0. Blue-red spells, powerful on M21. I guess we reaffirmed that. Interesting deck, though. It could have gone Millie or Prowessy, and both seemed pretty good. Bye, YouTube.